get tired of hearing that NFL primetime music. Anyways, Wood back here again with another breakdown, joined by Shawnee.
What's up, everybody?
And this week we're going to be taking a look at Alex, Slice, and Simply. Uh, so let's go ahead and get into it with the infamous Jared Curse team. Shawnee, what do you think about this team?
Well, like you mentioned, the Jared curse is very real. I didn't know nothing about it until last year, but I seen it in full effect. And once again, Alex has a team on paper that you just say contender, like very hard to beat. Yeah, he has four potential RB1s on his team, and if not top 12, maybe 12 to 15. So he's already at a big advantage over the league. If you have if you have four potential RB1s and it's only 12 in the whole league, that's a big advantage. And I see, he has Calvin Ridley. He did what we all thought he would do, broke out last year. He did it even he exceeded expectations. And him it's just right now it's only him and Julio, so I think he's still locked into the same amount of value. They have a bad defense, so I think, he has potential wide receiver one on his hands. CD Lamb, we all see what he could do with that. That just got re-signed.
Yeah,
That's
that's
all
big.
good. That's real big. And tight ends are hard to come by. And we see TJ Hawkinson, he came, tight end four in his second year, and now the Lions might not have anybody if Kenny Galladay goes to another team.
We were so close, tight end five.
Yeah, man. Tight end five, yeah, see? So yeah, I think he's gonna get a lot of targets, third year breakout. That's looking good. His defense not too shabby yet. Me, I love TJ Watt, sleeper adding him into the D line spot is a game changer. Devin Bush, he had the injury, but you see in his rookie year, he was sleeper like kind of like Devin White. We all see both of their potential. You see what Devin White did last year. You know, don't forget Devin Bush was she had the same ability, maybe a little better tackling wise, coverage wise. So that could be a real big breakout. Zion Brown, he just continues to be consistent, like a tackle machine. He's not gonna pick the ball off a lot or anything, but it's all super solid. You never know Isaiah Simmons wild card. That the extra IDP spot, makes it real. You know, it makes it a little more tricky. So I like what he did on the defensive side, but where I see that he can potentially upgrade is I think the quarterback situation is real mediocre. Carson Wentz, yes, he goes to Indianapolis, but I think what was Phillip Rivers? I can't remember what Phillip Rivers did last year, but
He was.
iconic. Yeah, yeah. No, I'm saying I don't remember where he finished. Maybe like quarterback 18. I think Carson Wentz is that's what you're looking at. It's the stick like I don't know. They don't really have major receivers, so I think if he wants to really make a change, he could use one of them RBs maybe to upgrade, for a major quarterback. And maybe he might take a loss at the RB position, but if you really want to set yourself apart, you want to upgrade, maybe get another wide receiver one. I mean, CD Lamb definitely has the potential. Like, don't get me wrong, but I think I'm always trying to, maximize all my points and all my positions. So that's one thing I think he can do. But besides that, he definitely has a solid roster. I don't know his draft pick situation because he definitely can add some depth to his bench. Yeah, don't have a lot. Don't have a lot. So really, it's all about health. Hopefully, Jared Curse don't strike again.
I mean, you had some good points. To me, the only I guess he covered himself with on Johnson, but I heard talk that they're thinking about moving on from him anyways because he wants to play, and obviously he got surpassed last year. Like that's without question. Sony's hurt. Damian had the spot, doesn't have the spot. He got hurt as well. So there's talks of even JJ taking over the Patriots' backfield. Who knows with the Patriots what they're gonna do? So he doesn't have really a scary backup running back, but he doesn't need to because he's got these guys. But the problem is these are already filling in as his starters. Okay, so maybe as receivers, Jerry Judy, I'll give you. That is a solid, good starter. And you've got Mike Williams. Edelman did not have the same year without Tom Brady. I mean, yes, he was hurt, but even if you go He got in 6 games. This is just not great. He didn't have a touchdown in those 6 games. It's just not the same. Um, Mike Williams could potentially, finally come through on all the potential. This is literally setting up to be a Jared Curse, and I'm going to call this team Tico Jr. because he is an injury away or two from going busto. Not at quarterback. I think I agree with you. His quarterback is average, but he has a bunch of average. Garoppolo, Golf. He might even play matchups. Like depending on who they're playing, he might start Garoppolo or Golf over Wentz. So I could see that
That's a
playing
good
out.
point.
Um,
Yeah, that works.
I don't think that kills him. I think his quarterbacks will make enough points. I think it'll come down to his. So Saquon's been hurt twice past few years. You know, CD without Dak kind of faded off. J.K. still in a timeshare. DeAndre had concussions already. Like there's just injuries can happen to anybody. So you can't live off of what ifs. But he's already got players who, while we all agree there's talent and we want them on our team, there are still question marks. The only one probably is not is Taylor, who proved he was going to be a top 5 back, and T.J. Hawkinson, even though he's had injuries as well. So I hope it doesn't happen, but I kind of do because I want to beat him. So, but he is screwed. If any of these guys goes down like a career ender, I mean he's just screwed. There's nothing he can do to recoup the loss.
Yeah, I hope he breaks first. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Let's move on to a sharp team. So last year, Alex finished, what was it? So he got 5th overall
6th.
draft pick. So what was he? 7th.
Yeah.
He just missed the
something like
playoffs.
that. Yeah.
So you notice he's got Taylor again. Really likes him. He's got Jerry Jeudy again. Got Patty though. And he will not give up Patty. He's also got Burrow coming off the injury. Hopefully he's back. Superflex wise, he's set up for a good amount, but he's left some spots blank. There's a reason. That's because he's got a question mark. Mixon's been hurt. AJ Dillon could be something. All right, so that fills up that one. But you go to receiver. I mean, maybe if Rhodes had the team, we would hear about how Watkins is the number 1, but Alex is a little bit more realistic, I think, at times. So he's praying that one of these guys can step up. He has some 3rd rounder picks, maybe. I think receiver, and he knows it. That's why he's leaving it. He's got these 3. This one is blank for a reason, because he can put Mixon and Dillon there. It's the same situation. He's going to be super thin. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, for me, I think this team is, like you said, middling right now because with Patrick Mahomes a big boost. But I think this is just a good, solid young team building to the right direction, I believe. But like definitely want to do something at that receiver. Maybe you trade one of your backs. Maybe Dylan, if Dylan does get the job, you trade him for a wide receiver or 2. Maybe you never know. Like it don't have to always be a wide receiver 1. You want to have some solid guys to give you the same amount of points. Fill up for injuries. You never know. Right now he's pretty thin, and like you said, the 3rd round picks highly unlikely to get to really, hit on a wide receiver at that round. You see like someone like Brian Edwards, everybody thought he's gonna break out. He didn't. But, his defense solid again. But really what I see from this roster, he doesn't have a lot of picks. But I know it's a few teams in the league that might need a quarterback just to start. So if maybe he wants to move Jimmy Garoppolo, maybe he can string a deal, not even for a pick, it might be for a high like top 20 wide receiver. Might want to do something like that because that could really help him boost his team. Like at least get him into the playoffs. We all know once you're in the playoffs, anything can happen. But as far as his team overall, it's pretty good. His wide receivers, they're actually 1, 2, 3. Like that's how it goes. Like they all exactly what they look like. And I think Cooper Kupp, he gets a big boost with Matthew Stafford. I mean, Jared Goff was fine for what they did, but Matthew Stafford, I think the touchdown rate goes up.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I do think he needs to make a move. I was gonna show something, bring a new feature to our little things. I forgot to do it for the first one, but we'll go back to that league eventually. So, so a little bit extra information for you guys. Right now, it's showing. Where is Alex? What's Alex's team name in Sharks?
AJW3.
AJW3. I mean,
Yeah,
it's showing right now his receiver pool is just needs the most work. Um,
very true.
and maybe a little bit more tight end. I mean, he's got Gasecki, but I know he's
Yeah,
not very. I know he's not high in Gasecki.
I'm not a believer.
Yeah. So we'll see how that turns out. I mean, but his quarterback obviously is one of the best, if not the best, in the whole league. So.
And if anything goes wrong, just sell Pat for everything you can.
I mean, Patrick Mahomes would instantly restart. But the difference is, where the other league is Jared Curse, right? This one, he's got a first rounder next year. He's got his 23 first rounder still. Um,
Oh yeah, he's set up. Yeah,
he's
set
got
up to
he's got a
lose like
22. You know, he's got some first rounder picks to still make up the difference.
yeah.
So, all right, moving on to Slice. We'll start with House Husband. Now, Slice just took over this team from Walters. Um, he's got a couple pieces: Lamar, Deontay, Devo, Mark, Andrews, and that's about it. I'll let you go, but he's in rebuild mode. That's not his fault. He's taking over an orphan.
Yeah, so for me, he's definitely in rebuild mode. I mean, show the picks for him. But he definitely had a lot to look forward to as far as picks. Like he's pretty, stockpiled them. Just he has to definitely move and do the right thing. I say with all those picks, they are valuable. It's a lot of other teams rebuilding. Might have some older pieces because some people wants to win now. Some people don't like to wait. You could buy players like Adam Thielen, Julio Jones, maybe some of those players if you really really want to compete now. Because if you go back up, he definitely has Lamar, and as long as his legs work, I don't care what nobody say. We see him down the stretch. He's back. I won't say MVP level, but he was definitely back tops of the league, like the last half of the league. I mean, half of the
Back to back
season.
QB1s.
Yeah, he's definitely locked in loaded QB1 to me. Like no question asked. His floor is like 1,200 yards rushing. Like it's pretty crazy. So he has Lamar. Still a one quarterback league. So, he gets all the boosters, 40-yard runs. That's a good piece. And then he has Lamar top weapon, Mark Andrews. That's honestly you can't go wrong, So he has that foundation. And then the running backs is where it's really, really, really shaky.
But that should be
J.K.
the last.
Dobbins.
That's kind of the last piece usually.
Yeah, it's the last piece. So like that's why I said like it's definitely a rebuild. I just think he should be selling players like Robbie Anderson, Brandon Cooks. They still have value. Like I'll try to take seconds. Maybe if you don't want to trade them for picks, maybe we work on some young defensive players to have already ready for you in the future when you're ready to compete. I think you should just be trading players like Ryan Tannehill. Get what you can from him right now. Like
Yeah, I would go a step further. I'm selling Lamar if I'm him. Now I'm not saying
I
just
would.
sell him for parts, but I would sell Lamar because by the time he's gonna be competitive, I just I have Lamar in other leagues and I think he's got value, but I think of him and Tannehill as almost having the same window.
I
Tannehill is
think
how old? 32. Lamar will lose value about the same time Tannehill's going to lose value. Because that's how I see it. Because he's not going to be able to keep running like this into his 30s.
yeah. I mean not until he's 30, but yeah. I don't know. Like, see, I think that's the thing about Lamar. I think he's actually undervalued right now. So I think he don't have a problem moving him. I just think people. I don't know. I think the perception is just bad on him right now. I don't know. I definitely take him. If you're gonna move Lamar, you got to do it the right way. And I'm just guessing that he's not getting
I mean, I'm trading Lamar for maybe, you know, obviously you gotta keep your eye on the future. This league is going super flex, so maybe you get a younger, not so like a Tua tackle, Tua. I can't say the last name, but Tua and a pick.
Take a,
You know what I mean? Like that's the deal I'm looking for. I'm looking for a young quarterback with upside, and Tua is not equal to Lamar, obviously, but maybe he will be down the line, and maybe I get a second or first along with that, and that way I can build up my team. Um, you know,
yeah,
the Devos.
yeah, I know. Yeah, I don't want to give him that type. I mean, yeah, I get the idea. Like, yeah, but that's definitely what he needs to do. I just say
Same
all
thing with
your
Tannehill.
standpoint, and it's tight end premium. Maybe if you want to really just blow it all up, maybe you just sell Mark Andrews. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, Andrew's probably gonna. His value definitely went up with that one vote. His value definitely went up with that, and
Yeah, because he was already top 4 or 5 locked in. No matter what happened, like even if you call it a down year, he still produced
I
every
mean,
week.
he needs to be talking to Simply with Tannehill right there. I mean,
Yeah, top 3 floor right there. What do we?
I
Come on,
mean,
I don't even have a backup quarterback. What you want? I got a second.
I mean, he could definitely get some value for him. And the truth is this: unless with his 4 picks this year, he drafts 4 top players, like top 12 in whatever positions he drafts. He is not winning the league this year. Not with the way the hierarchy is right now. You know,
I know.
Bankhead back to back, and the other teams that were in the playoffs. He just ain't doing it. So he needs to set himself up for success next year, where he has 3 firsts and whatever. So I get, Lamar, you can hold on and say next year, we got it. But like, I guess in my mind, I'm already thinking like, all right, depreciating assets. I'm just trying to make myself ready for the stretch run. I'm trying to get a young wide receiver one, an AJ Brown or something like that. If I can pry that away from whoever has him.
Yeah, like to me, like I said, yeah, definitely. It's definitely just sell Brandon Cooks, Robbie Anderson if you can, and the
Yeah.
rest. Yeah,
So you,
Lamar just slow walk it.
so I'm going full like tear it down. You're more like selling off piece by piece.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Because that's like you said, he has picks now. I think he could. I think he just had it right. Lamar's 24. I'm not giving up. I don't know.
I'm not giving
It's
up
just
on him. I just think he has the same amount of years left as Tannehill, and I think Tannehill gives you 5. Maybe Lamar gives you another 5 solid years. I
yeah,
want a
that's
quarter.
good.
I want a quarterback
That's
who's going
good.
to last me like 10 to 15 years.
Yeah, that's how they like. We don't even see that. Like almost like you talking about like Aaron
Drew
Rodgers,
Brees.
Tom Brady.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
this is
hopefully
how I.
getting one of them. Like that's my point. But I can trade Lamar now with the shot of getting that in a younger quarterback who's not as good as Lamar, and getting another draft pick because I need more ammo because what he's got is not getting it done. And even he has to hit on multi-round picks. Like even if he just hits on his top 4, it's not enough. He's not 4 players away. So
Yeah, I mean, I think I like it. I mean, I don't know. I just confident. I think he could do it.
I'm not saying he can't. I just think
Yeah.
he's
No, I know.
behind the eight
Yeah,
ball.
he's. I mean, yeah, he's definitely behind. I don't even think everybody knows that this year it's not gonna happen.
Let's see.
Next year, you never know what can
Who's
happen.
actually worse off, me or because I haven't done my draft picks yet. So if I take,
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, he might be in a better position
he
than
might
you
be in a
by
better
next year.
position than me. Hold on.
Yeah,
Nope, I
yeah,
barely edge him out with the running backs still.
yeah. But see, with the future picks, I still give him the edge.
Let's see with the picks. Nope, even with the picks, he's
No, I'm
he,
saying like
yeah.
familiar. Like when I'm thinking, like, yeah, I'll take his roster.
So right now, Dynasty Nerds has him finishing 9th or 10th. I'm sorry, has me finishing 9th. Has him finishing 10th. So we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah,
Dicey Nerds has Ozzy and Egas playing for the championship. Bankhead, our champs, all the way back in 5th.
I can see it.
All right, moving on uh, to Shark. We have Slice's team here. Where is it? They finished in what is it? 4th last season. And
Yeah.
it's pretty easy to see why, but I will let you go ahead since Slice is your boy.
Okay. So Slice, he started off really, really slow, and obviously we can see why. Yeah, J.D. McKissick was RB2, but you see everything broke right second half of the season. You know, Deshaun Watson, people counting him out early in the season last year. No matter what nobody wants to tell us, the man came on. He basically played at an MVP level, no matter what his team did in real life. David Montgomery down the stretch, he feasted on them weak defenses. He did exactly what he was supposed to do. And Devontae Adams, walking wide receiver one, Calvin Ridley, we already know. James Crowder, solid. And we all know I hate Juju. But he's top 24. Like, what are you gonna say? 24 years old.
Well, his
He
value is
might
about
even,
to swing violently one way or the other, because it really depends on where he goes.
yeah. I mean, to me, he is what he is. Like, yeah, he just is what he is to me. But that's what you need at wide receiver three. If you're telling me my lineup is Juju, Devontae Adams, Calvin Ridley, I'll take it all day. On top of that, he has two QB ones, both in the top five, and one was QB1 overall, beating Patrick Mahomes. So you already know the potential of his roster. That holds up a lot of weight. So for me, I do. He definitely needs a tight end, obviously, which we can see that he left that blank.
I wonder
We
why.
have
Let's see what we got. We got Schultz, Ebron, Njoku, Disley. So basically, he's got a bunch of has-beens who never was.
yeah. And, I mean, he even got Jarvis Landry on the bench. That's real good. Like maybe you
But
might
look,
want to
he only
package that.
has three wide receivers on the bench.
Yeah, yeah. That works. Like yeah, that could work. I mean, the other two is not
His
that good, but
defensive, I mean, he's got Simmons sitting on the bench for defense. Allen's not bad. He got some decent players for defense.
like he definitely like he quietly built a solid team. Maybe Marlon Mack gets a
Yeah,
job somewhere. You never know. So that could be his solid RB2. You don't need to be. Everybody can't be.
got all his picks. Got your second rounder.
Yeah, you got all this pick. Garrett Delpit coming back. That's a sleeper. I really really like the team, and with his pick, maybe he can package something up to move up to secure Kyle Pitts. To fill out that tight end position. I think that's something that he really should be looking to do. Maybe he packages Jarvis
No,
Landry something.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. He's gonna have to give up a decent amount to get to Kyle Pitts, I think.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I mean,
Well, it
people
is
could
super
overvalue.
flex. It is super flex. Who knows?
Yeah, it's a super flex. I mean, people might
But he
overvalue. It's
also
not
needs
tight.
he needs more running backs. Like, I
Yeah,
mean, his
I mean,
running back
I just
pool
think,
is meh.
yeah, yeah. I just don't see running back falling that far. And if you do, you might get another running back like the type that you already have, like Jonathan too. So we just see how that fall out. But like I said, his team is good. If he finds a way to get he doesn't need to get the tight end one, but he gets
Slice
that.
Slice literally has the worst running back roster
Oh yeah, he
of
definitely has
sharks.
the worst runner. Yeah, he definitely. Yeah,
Like, not even close. Oh man.
pretty much all his running backs that were starters the year prior. They all lost their jobs. Melvin Gordon took Lindsey's job.
I
Marlon
mean,
Mack,
David Montgomery, but see,
yeah, I'm just saying, like, yeah,
but Dave Montgomery is fool's gold. I think. Like, I know in other leagues people are trying to sell him while he's high. If you're paying attention, he played the shittiest teams the last 4 weeks.
oh yeah, I referenced that. Yeah, definitely not. He's definitely not RB4.
No.
Yeah, that's what people are thinking. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's solid, but he might
But
be just an RB2.
Next to you, Slice has the second best wide receiver pairing in all sharps. So
Yeah,
he's doing
I
something
agree.
right.
Yeah, he's definitely set up. I think once you have two, like, if you got just a solid team, like from the position, like skill position, if you got two QB1s, you're ahead of the pack.
He is the highest in quarterbacking group.
Yeah, that pretty much. I don't count injuries preseason, so that locks him in for a playoff spot in my eyes.
I think he definitely makes the playoffs. I think there's no question. It all comes down There's no way. I don't care. We saw it with Ozzy play out in other leagues. He tried to address it mid-season. So in fairness to Ozzy, he kind of got screwed, just having bad weeks. But at the beginning of the season,
Chris
like,
McCaffrey never showed up.
yeah, I know. Like it was a great deal for him, but it just didn't work out.
Zeke flopped.
Yeah. Uh, he did not have a running back group though, and everybody kept telling Ozzy, no, no. And Ozzy had one of the best wide receiver groups. So we saw that your wide receivers and your quarterback can carry you so far, but you can't just neglect a position entirely and hope to win. So when
No.
you're what? Let's see the comparison. He is compared to the best wide running back group at 16,864. So there's a 14,000 point gap. It's pretty big.
So we all know what he needs to do. Get it.
That
Clear
means
somebody.
I know what to ask for in
I don't
trades.
know how.
uh,
Yeah.
Alright, survival slice.
This one is a little different.
Yeah, just a little. I kind of like what he did here. He's kind of got just a stud at every position here. Um, he's got Allen, QB1. Got DK, wide receiver one, not one overall, but you get the idea. Christian McCaffrey, we all know is going to bounce back and potentially be the RB1. The issue with him is really simple, and I'll let you break him down a little bit more. Daniel Jones is his other quarterback, and there's a reason he put Cortland Sutton in. Because one, Daniel Jones kept getting hurt, but two, Daniel Jones was being freaking inconsistent. I figure, are you Giants or Philly fan?
I'm a Giant.
There. So you know Daniel Jones very well and the crap he was putting up. Just the inconsistency. But I will let you take it from here.
Yeah. Like Slice, he always builds solid teams, period. Last year, obviously, we're looking at the roster. He definitely was bit by big injuries that probably, I don't think he would have won a championship, but he definitely had no fighting chance. Chris McCaffrey going down. Even Daniel Jones got injured, and that was his only, second QB.
Yeah.
And as far as Daniel Jones, yeah, he was pretty trash, and I'm a Giants fan. I don't rate him, overly rate him, but the Giants had nothing to work with last year. They had no weapons. Saquon was out, but he still was putting up 19 to 18 points because they unlocked him rushing. So if they continue to do that and add, the pick 11 in the real draft, Jalen Waddle or somebody, open it up, maybe free agency, they go out and spend. I think if they give him some weapons and he continues to run, I think he's a QB2, obviously, but I think it's solid. You lock him in, and then you'll have Courtland Sutton at your wide receiver 3 to boost your lineup so you don't, Cole Beasley is fine, but that's all you get. It's fine. You want to have, you want to chase that ceiling, and Courtland Sutton definitely has one. And for me, honestly, I'll say nobody wants to trade CMC, but I'm trying to fill up my roster. Like Rojo, we see who he is now. If he's starting, he's solid. But how many games is he going to start? Is he going to even ever play full 16? Is he ever going to learn how to catch? I don't think he's going to have that role. I don't think he's ever going to be locked into that role. Do they bring somebody in? Do they incorporate Keyshawn Vaughn? There's a lot of questions with Rojo.
We'll see.
I don't say you get.
With Ronald Jones, I'll add on to what you said. We've heard of boomer bust wide receivers like Deshaun Jackson. Does he hit the home run long ball or not, right? And
Right.
Rojo, 5.6, 4.8, 40, 2.4. Like,
Yeah,
you can't.
crazy.
Your running backs are usually, and along with quarterbacks, are more consistent. Like you got a safer floor. And I think you're hitting on an important thing. You don't know what he's going to do week to week, what part of the game plan he's going to be.
Yeah, and then you got some young. It's always rookies coming in. But as far as receiver, I think he's fine there. So basically, what he needs to do, for me, or what I suggest, is at least float the idea of trading CMC, obviously for the right price. Everybody wants a Godfather, or fleece somebody, get over it. That's what it takes to trade players like him. But for me, I'm getting what helps my team overall. Only one player only could do this so much for you. So if I can upgrade Daniel Jones adding in the CMC and getting, an average running back, better quarterback for the long term, that might help. Or getting two more wide receivers, something like. I'm trying to make a big move because in this league, as we go along, we'll see it. There's some teams that you're definitely gonna be fighting with at the top.
So Dynasty Nerds currently has him as sixth overall. Um,
Yes, right there in the middle.
yeah, right in the middle.
Yep.
His running back group is, average, I would say. Let's see. So,
Oh, one key factor.
one, two, three. It's
Yes.
literally sixth place. I think
One key
he's sixth
factor.
place everywhere.
He does have the 1.05 out of it. That's a
But
big. That's big.
slice.
And the super flex.
I hope you're watching
Yeah.
this. He is literally sixth place on every goddamn thing. Like every one of his
Yeah.
groupings is six.
Yeah, he just builds
Except,
out team,
except for quarterback.
direction. Yeah. So yeah, that 105. I think that's with the quarterbacks, and it's a good quarterback. So I think quarterbacks might go early, and he might have a chance at a Najee or ETN. So
See,
maybe he gets a boost.
my suggestion to him, and I like your CMC suggestion. I go with that. He's done a good job. He kept his picks. You know what I mean. So he's got a first and a second. But look at his tight end situation. So he's got Noah Fant, and I'm gonna assume all the leagues on the circuit did go tight end premium, right?
Yeah, Irv Smith might get a boost.
Irv Smith, they cut Kyle Rudolph, so he's the starter. Robert Tanyan had a great year last year and was like a touchdown machine.
I'm telling you. Yeah.
He could easily start one of them here. And I mean, like, if you think about it in depth wise, that's the reason I'm bringing it up. Like, he doesn't have to move these two. Like, maybe they get great contracts. I mean, and you've got Cortland Sutton. If he can get a quarterback to consistently be in this spot, you could even play with the idea of putting a tight end. Like, I think he's actually going to have to make game day decisions. Like, he might win or lose a game. Do I start one of my tight ends or one of my wide receivers?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I get the premium, but I think it's gonna be overvalued also. But that's just me.
I mean,
It's
let's say
something.
Curtis
He got a
Samuel.
lot to work with.
Curtis
He got a
Samuel,
lot of.
look, wide
Yeah.
receiver two. He's like literally the back end wide receiver two right here. If you take his games though, I mean, he had games huge, and he was just, like at the beginning of the season, inconsistent. Near the end, he really picked up near the end. I think the tight ends just
For these settings, I like players like that.
I agree. I'm just saying, like, I think if you want a safer floor, maybe you go the tight end that week, depending on your matchup. Like, if I'm going against the champ, if I'm going against, like, the perceived number one seed, I'm probably going to go Samuel, because I want the home run threat. But if I'm playing maybe, like, on the 6th seed to the 7th seed, maybe I play the safer tight end premium option and hope that, get a couple catches, one touchdown. I would play Tanya if I'm playing against, like, that kind of matchup.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, yeah.
We all have our different ways.
Yeah, I was gonna say I just don't like Italians, but that's just me. I just think he's just nobody.
All right, so on to our last one. Let's see. We've got this. We'll start with the one where Simply started with, which was the House Husband League. So Simply here finished in 9th place. And we are still one quarterback in this league, but are transitioning, as a reminder, to Superflex. I don't see it, but you go ahead. You tell me how this team makes the playoffs.
For some reason, the screen went away. But
Do you need me to share
where
again?
we
Here. Is that better?
hold on, it's going. It's loading. Sorry.
I'll go ahead and start. I just don't see it. I know for a fact he is banking on Penny being the starter. And it's a hell of a long shot. If it happens, great, but I don't see it. He's got declining assets in Woods and Lockett. Yes, they still have value right now, but the writing's on the wall. Lockett's not the wide receiver one. Um, Woods is getting older, and I think you've got a year or two left, and then he's gonna start to slide off. He's already what? He's in his late 20s. Yeah, 28. He's not a freak of nature like a Julio Jones or a DeAndre Hopkins who's gonna do this forever. I think he's a great route runner who is going to maybe slightly drop off, over time. And who knows where he'll end up because with his contract, he's banking on Chase Edmonds being a starter. Coach speak, they're saying good things, but I'm not a believer. And his defense is solid. I like Brian Burns, IDP spot. I think that's great. He's got some other interesting names here. Um, the bench leaves a lot to be desired. Like, I think the most interesting name as I scroll through it was basically Preston Williams, and nobody's buying him right now because he had a down season. Now, now in his defense, he has loaded up on first. He has 6 picks in the first 2 rounds. Um, and it's really going to come to how well he drafts. I mean, there's really nothing else to say. And it's what he should do. In fact, maybe he's already trying. Dump these two, go total rebuild. Like, dump Woods and Lockett to try and get another pick. That would be my advice for him. But what do you got?
Okay, so starting at the top, like you said, first of all, going from last year to now, he was a rebuilding team. We all knew that. It was a few teams. There's a lot of teams like that. So I understand why his roster is the way it is. Tua, I think he's fine to move along with. I don't ever think he's ever gonna even sniff QB1 ceiling, but I think he's more than capable of being solid. Last year the Dolphins didn't really have nothing to work with. They had Devontae Parker and Mike Gesicki. That's all. So I think the Dolphins definitely will address that in the draft. So I think Tua is a nice piece to move forward. David Montgomery, he's definitely a solid piece. But if you're not going to win now, I don't see David Montgomery aging well, like 3-4 years until you're ready to compete. Not saying it's going to take simply that long because anything can happen overnight. The main thing about this roster, he has to make a decision now because he has pieces that are just fine. Like Robert Woods is fine. Tyler Lockett's fine. Noah Fant's fine. Tua, like I said, QB, he's fine. All of these players are fine. So if you have a solid core, you can take all those picks and you definitely could flip them for veterans. So depending on what he wants to do, but as I can see, what he wants to do is go young. So like you said, he should be selling Robert Woods, Tyler Lockett, David Montgomery. Like I will be selling everyone because that's just the way it looks to me. Unless he's gonna hope to get production now in the draft because he's like you said he has a lot of high picks. You never know. Like we've seen a lot of rookies take off last year, so it can be done. And like his IDP, he has some players. I love Chen, like you said, but really all he has to worry about right now, his full focus should be offense, offense, offense. And yeah, so I really just think it comes down to making a decision. And the one thing about Sibley, everybody's the wide receiver one, running back one, so it's hard to make a deal. So like I don't know how, like it's just my opinion, but he can do whatever makes him feel good.
Yeah, the one thing though I want to make sure. Just my advice to him is, don't forget to draft a quarterback, and I think he will with one of those first rounders because if his team does well and he pushes his 22 firsts back, I don't think he'll have to sell whatever pieces gain value to move up to get a quarterback next year. I don't know about next year's class all the way, but I just think he takes a quarterback this year. He needs to keep an eye on the future because obviously Fitzpatrick is a free agent. Let's say he goes somewhere and even plays. He's not in the league much longer. They're already talking about retirement this year, so he needs to at least just even have a backup. He doesn't even have that, so when a week comes right now, he's got nothing behind Tua.
Yeah, he has nothing behind Tua. I mean, yeah, if he's in a position to get a quarterback, I say take one if the value is right. I'm never gonna force nobody to take, a position that they, I wouldn't force a Mac Jones if that's all that's left. I'm not sure how the draft is gonna fall. That's the only reason I'm saying that.
So right now he is
But
slated to the 11th.
yeah, but I definitely think like if he really wanted to compete, he definitely could because the first round picks is definitely valuable. People definitely got older players that they need to sell during their rebuild that could work. So it really, like I said, it all comes down to his decision. But he has a lot to work with, and I haven't really seen him like a full, draft fully loaded with picks, like what he can do with it. So it's hard to judge on that. But I think he set his team up well for the future. I
He
will tell him
he
that.
has the highest draft capital of anybody in the league.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He definitely played that well. My hat's off to that. But I've seen it happen before. Some people know what to do with it. Some people don't.
By the way, just going reflecting back, props to De Beers for actually getting some more picks here and you know getting it, starting to flip that team
My
around.
heart goes out to the Bears.
Like, that team just fell apart
But
in this
he
league.
did tell me somebody he took that over. He didn't do it himself.
Oh, I believe it. I believe it.
Yeah, I believe it too. I was just wondering. I had to ask him personally.
All right, simply in Savages League finished dead last. All right, all you now. Is your screen working fine?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right.
So simply definitely finished that last, but I'll tell everybody, obviously, this wasn't his fault. Somebody left him for dead. So with this team, it really tons of work. I don't think it's even. I don't even think it's smart to try to win right now. That's just my opinion. Because if you make one mistake, mess up, and it don't go wrong, then you set yourself back another 2 years. So, like for this team, I basically make a decision with Barkley. I think Barkley still has years. He's still young.
Barkley has
24
to
years
go.
old.
No, I
I
don't
mean, he
think
has to go.
you don't
But
have a
like, what do
choice
you?
here.
Yeah, I'm just saying, but you got to get the right pieces. Like when I tell people to sell is get the right pieces. But Barkley is one of them. Like he's one of them pieces. Are either sell for the right amount or right players. Get a young back. Get an ETN plus uh, uh, T Higgins. Like something crazy. You got to get some kind of combination for guys like him with his ability, his ceiling. Because he's 24. Okay, if it doesn't work this year, I mean. He's gonna be good this year. Like I said, I don't predict injuries over and over again for nobody because things change. This is how Dalvin Cook started out. Then you see he go on a 3-year run. So Barkley, I say you sell him if you get the right piece. Chris Godwin, I would move. Uh, like I would move Chris Godwin, like Hunter Henry. I mean, you can keep them. Tight ends they do age well, especially good tight ends. It's not a lot of them in the league, so you want to slow walk that unless you could get a young prospect that maybe not Cal Pitts. It's a couple of other tight ends in this draft class. You might get one of them plus a pick. You want to do things like that. I keep a T.J. Watt, Isaiah Simmons, see what you got. Maybe somebody want an Isaiah Simmons. Maybe they'll give you some good picks
You
or
got the stop
two
sign.
IDP
They're
players.
telling you don't even bother.
No, that was from the previous owner. That's an Alex special right there.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, Jared Goff. Yeah, I mean it's one quarterback league, so you just roll with the punches with the quarterback. I really don't even suggest wearing it, like stressing it. You just draft it when you can. But he got some ancillary pieces that he might want to package, like a Chase, Mooney, and like maybe you package 3 players to get one good one.
Chase is a
this is your star
RB1,
power.
man. You gotta talk to Simply some more.
Yeah, let him tell it. Like my thing about Chase, and while we on the topic, I seen games without Kenyon Drake. Yeah, it wasn't good last year. He had that one. People got the thing when David Johnson got hurt. They got that stuck in his mind. I mean, it didn't look good for none of the Arizona running backs last year. So
His biggest
does
game
Chase
was
have potential?
26
Yes, he does.
points.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And he's already 3 years in. So how much longer do they want to ride that?
Yeah.
Like I highly doubt that they're giving this guy,
In the game he was in for,
multi-year deal.
this is what, just to back up your point. In a game where he was in for 96% of the snaps, he only scored 11.8 points.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. And then Kyler, he's vulturing touchdowns at the goal line now. Got D Hop at the goal line,
So
I see Chase,
I,
it's
I
yeah.
think he has to move Saquon before the start of the season. You can't afford Saquon getting hurt one more time because then Saquon loses. Like you go from maybe getting multiple firsts to maybe getting nothing, to maybe getting a second or a third at best, hoping for one last shot. Saquon's coming back because after a guy has like 3 or 4 injuries, like there's just a label. I disagree with you on Godwin. Godwin's young enough. He's a receiver. They tend to be a little bit less injury prone compared to running backs. I'm okay with him holding on to that. Hunter Henry, I would sell because I don't know, I think his value will spike once free agency starts and he signs with whatever team. Get somebody on the Hunter Henry hype train and sell him high. I'm with you there. I agree with your point about QB. It's one QB league. Don't freak out about that yet. Just take it as it falls to you. And just do what you kind of did in the other league and acquire draft picks. He's already kind of done it. He's got
I
2 seconds.
the roster is so ugly. I literally would sell anybody a kid. That's my philosophy. It's my philosophy. Everybody
I
know
get
that.
that.
So.
I get that. I just think Godwin is a because I know last year he technically was a wide receiver 3, right? But if you actually go into the numbers, he missed some time. He had a couple one, 2, 3, 4 games where he was out.
Funny that we on this about Godwin. Simply asked me himself, like in the group chat, he said, "What's the difference between Godwin and Deontay Johnson?" That was a good question. I said, "Nothing. Godwin has a bigger name, and you've seen him in the Jameis year when Jameis was going for 6,000 passing yards, getting out.
Deontay also has all the drops.
But outside,
Deontay has all the drops. There is a difference there.
no, I'm talking about what's the difference in points per game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's no difference, right? So why wouldn't you sell Chris Godwin for Deontay plus?
I mean,
Not Deontay. Like I don't. This is just an example. Like it's really no difference. It's just a perception of names.
Yeah, I mean, you got him for
In my eyes. Yeah, in my eyes, this is a perception of the name.
Ridley and
But
Hines.
so I'm looking at. Yeah, like I'm looking at players who are going to get targeted. Maybe you can get Juju in a second. You never know. Like you never know who's down on who.
But I think simply,
who what.
I'll give him credit. If you look at the one trade he's made, because I think he took over the team for this trade, right? He had it by December.
Yeah.
The one trade he made, it's not a 2021 pick involved. He knew I need to maximize value, so I will give him a little golf clap here. He got a 2023 first and a 2022 second. It's dog crap for now, but he knows there's no chance of him winning this year. So
what did he get that for?
He got that in the Godwin deal. He traded Godwin for Ridley.
Gotcha.
So he gave away Ridley and Hines. He got Godwin, Edmonds, a second, and a first. So, I give him credit for that one. I mean, Shane made a good move too, because Shane's trying to do win now, so it wins for both of them. But I'm just saying, I like Simply's eye to the future here. He made a deal work, and 2023 is probably when he will start competing, because I think he's 2 years away. Because this is a rough shape roster.
Yeah.
I mean, that could all change if he hits draft picks, waiver wire. We can all see that stuff change. But
He's a lot. Yeah.
Let's see let's go see what he's projected. So he is projected currently to be dead last.
It's fair.
It is what it is, buddy. Sorry. But draft pick capital. Again, sneaking in there, he's got the second best draft pick capital right now. I love how Tico's always at the end of all these. Always at 0. Alright. Let's move on to the Simply's 2 teams that he drafted. So he's not these are teams that he picked from the start. We'll go with, which one did he finish in second place? That was Sharks, right? You there?
Sharks. You hear me?
Yeah, now I can. There you go. Okay. All right, so we'll save sharks for last. We'll go to survival.
Gotcha.
All right.
Interesting team.
Simply, man, good job. You were quicker on the finger with James Robinson. You got Nick Chubb. You have a very well-rounded, solid team. There's your Ryan Tannehill that we all love to give you crap for. Uh, I mean, David Montgomery is a good third back. James Conner, no, he's. I don't know what he's gonna do, but he will be. He's not gonna be on fantasy relevant in my opinion. But still, you're three. You got three backs, three good wide receivers. You got Travis Kelsey. You're riding him until he retires, and Chase Claypool. You keep trying to get him for a second round pick. Mike Davis might go somewhere else. Now, after you got to see people who got to see him start, you don't have a horrible team here. You're going to be in the playoffs. You don't have any picks, though. No picks. So you are hoping and praying you can either do some waiver wire magic or that your backups become starters somewhere. But you have a very solid team, and I think you're okay depth wise. Like, I know if a wide receiver goes down, you have Claypool. And if you lose a running back, you've got Mike Davis. You have some options. I'm just saying, Mike Davis. I'm not saying he's amazing, but Mike Davis, where's his points? He was a running back too last year.
I know. I was just about to say.
We'll see. What was he the year before? So, I mean, that is literally finding a diamond in the rough right there. The 111th running back to the 18th.
RBs don't matter as long as they get volume.
So, go ahead, Bo. What do you think?
Yeah, so obviously, simply, he was right there fighting for a championship. We can see why. His team is very, very, very top heavy. Maybe he has lots and lots and lots of veterans. So I think this team is definitely solid. It's going to contend. Once again, it'll be tough to beat if everything is going well like it did last year. But we have a lot of question marks, and things can go really bad really fast, really good really fast. So starting at the top, you see that re-signed. That's good. Tannehill, he's fine. I mean, obviously we have a different value of who he really is, but he's definitely far and away like
he's a low end QB1, high end QB2, but he's been a QB1 for the past 2 seasons.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's just just a forever joke, but he's definitely solid. Like I don't see no reason to move him unless you want to go younger. Like maybe you might get a Tua or something in a pick, just to for safety. But Travis Kelsey, for me, this roster like he just has to be. Like I said, he doesn't have future picks. This is the reason why he has to see if he wants to sell. Now take a little bit of value loss, but long term he's good. Other than that, he really doesn't have a lot of moves to make. I think James Conner, that flex position, I guess he moved Claypool in. He doesn't have a lot of depth, I don't think.
No, he can survive maybe one hit, like one injury he can survive, but after that he'd be screwed.
You gotta see what happens with the James Robinson situation. I really don't think nothing major happened as far as them bringing anyone in. I just think that we've seen with James Robinson, he has to get a lot of work, but he can produce if he get it. So it's mainly a question of what type of work he's gonna get, because they was playing for the 101. They didn't want to score no points. They didn't, they working through the running back. Like I think if you drafted Trevor Lawrence, I don't think your idea is to be, running James Robinson into the ground, but not saying that he won't be good. Like, just like, what is his real ceiling after this? Have we seen his ceiling already? I think that we've seen his ceiling already.
I think, I mean, you're right on Robinson. He'll probably never be as high as he did there. But back to I think you made another good point. There's not a lot of moves to make for this team. I mean, he has to work some way for wire magic to maybe get, back up here or there that can fill in. But, and you said he has to make a decision to sell or go for it. I think he doesn't even have a choice with this team. I think he's already made his choice. He's going for it. and he's gonna
Yeah,
ride it
like
till the wheels fall off, and then like if
when I
Kelsey
say sell, like
retires,
yeah, yeah, like see for me, for when I say sell, like I sold DeAndre Hopkins straight up for DJ Moore. Okay, do I take a big loss? Yeah, like, but am I fine today now? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like I can still win
no,
playing
you
a lesser
could,
wide receiver.
you could, but I think he's got a top heavy enough team. He was, he was potentially going to be in the championship until he got knocked off a little bit early in the playoffs. He did have Dak Prescott get hurt. I think he kind of has to go for it this year, and then if he win or lose, I think next year he's a seller.
Yeah, and I think he should look to. I know somebody in the team that needs a quarterback. I think he should look to sell Derek Carr because Derek Carr is also solid. He's not special to
See,
you, but he's definitely solid. He can get you another depth
I
piece or
disagree.
maybe what?
I disagree. I think you need to have that back. Now let me rephrase that. I disagree in doing it this early. If we get to that, week 11, and he's sitting pretty, like he's going to get a bye and all that stuff in the playoffs, then maybe I roll the dice because you want to have a backup because who's more likely to get hurt, a quarterback or a running back or a wide receiver? I would roll the dice and maybe sell Carr to then get the one running back or wide receiver. I wouldn't do it at the beginning of the year though.
I mean, for me, the way I see it, I don't think he like Carr is not that special that he has to be in your starting lineup. It's like you almost know the weeks that he's gonna go off.
No,
That's
I
about
agree. What I'm saying though is if Prescott goes down for time or Tannehill, you really want another quarterback in there.
yeah. But yeah, like I said, it's decisions you can make. Nick Chubb, are you gonna ride it out, or are you gonna maybe look to move to try to get a younger back? Because Nick Chubb is definitely elite when he's playing. Like no if and buts about it. But are you just gonna run it into the ground? Like sometimes you just got to do that. Like with a Derrick Henry, you just ride the wave until until it runs out. But
So
I have no complaints about his team. It's definitely strong, good, and it's definitely gonna be elite and tough to beat.
currently ranked as being the third best team.
That's
With
accurate too.
yeah, I mean it shows tight end and wide receiver being his strength. Um, but we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, it's
Again, I
probably
look at what's weird about this. Look where Tico's rated, and he was in the finals with you.
yeah. I mean, he just plays to the settings. I respect it. I know his style. Y'all let him get away with it. You see me, I don't let him get away with it. Say that.
I'm just saying,
Nah,
Dynasty is showing him finally falling down.
oh, I mean, as long as he could keep making the trades that he does, like if people keep going for it, hey, it's gonna work.
All right,
That's
all
all I
right.
have to
This is
say
not a
about that.
Tico episode. All right, now the League of Sharks simply finished second place, losing in the championship game. Um, he loves Jalen Hurts. Gosh.
There you go.
I'll let you go ahead and start.
Okay, so for this team, obviously it was second place. So for this team, it's very easy. He has CMC coming back, Chris Carson. I think you just sell, get what you can, even if you resign somewhere. You might use him to upgrade a receiver. Do what you want. You got Russell Wilson. He has his QBs locked down. So Jalen Hurts, he's not worth what he's selling to me, but he's definitely worth. He's definitely like as long as he's starting, like I tell everybody, he's gonna be good. He's gonna produce points. He can run. That's it. But maybe you want to package him to do something else because what I like about this team most simply has a lot of picks and he has the 101 overall. And we all know what that pick is and what it's worth. So maybe he chooses someone or maybe somebody blows up the team just to get one player. I don't know. So he has a lot of options with this team. I think he needs to fix his receivers though. I'm not a strong believer in Denzel Mims like doing anything special. But yeah, I
You
mean,
shut your mouth, sir.
his receiver is solid. Irv Smith, yeah, gets the boost. He has Cole Komet, I believe.
I think you made a good point. His draft picks, you know, we know he's
Yeah,
getting Trevor Lawrence, so that makes let's just say that nobody's gonna buy Ben Roethlisberger, but Tannehill, who he loves, or even
yeah,
Jalen
I'll sell him
Hurts,
for another pick.
yeah, or Jalen Hurts even sell
Yeah,
them for another skill player because or
honestly,
you could just quarter the market in quarterbacks because that's another strategy is if nobody else has quarterbacks then they can't play them against you.
yeah, that's true. But for me, like if I'm him, like I like his setup. I like his roster. It's definitely obviously he was in the championship. So what I'll do with Tannehill and Jalen Hurts. uh, Well, Jalen Hurts is a little different situation. Tannehill, I'll sell for a rookie pick. Get another elite asset. It could be one of the top receivers. Maybe you get a first this year, second next year. First this year, a defensive player on top. You don't always have to get, you know, Patrick Mahomes price for every player that you want. Not saying that's what he said. I'm just giving my advice on it. So he has tons of options. I think he'd be right back fighting for a championship as long as he does the things that I think he's capable of doing. As far as the receivers, I think he just need to add. I definitely think he need to add to the receivers as far as the flex positions.
It
And
currently
that
has
RB2
him as
spot.
fourth place in sharks. Um, and I would say the wide receiver group you hit on the head is that, and I also think, you know, it's really just Christian McCaffrey at running back. Chris Carson's
Yeah, that's
value
it.
is dropping by the day. He's no longer going to be Seattle's running back. He's not going to have as good a value as he did there. So he needs to draft a running back or use those picks to get a running back.
Or quarterback. Yeah,
He could, or a quarterback. He
so
needs.
he has options. Yeah,
He definitely has options. He needs. I would say a little bit more depth, and even at tight end, he has great promise with Irv and Cole Komet. Like, hey, like those are names. Those are people I would want on my team, but those are not
yeah, I like.
like slam
Yeah,
dunks. Tight end
yeah,
top five.
right, right, right. Like I said, he has a couple picks. I'm not sure if he like. Yeah, I'm gonna keep saying Kyle Pitts. He looks like a good prospect. It's worth the shot if you can get him. He. I think he's gonna do the right thing. I mean, it's easy. Like in his position with his picks and his players, it's basically a layup. you
But to
know.
his credit, I want to point out again he is second in terms of overall draft pick capital. Like he has done a good job of managing picks and making sure he's collected picks. And it's really good, especially with the team that he this one. It's funny because we just showed survival where he drafted his own and he has no picks basically, at least this year. And then this one, he's got a crap ton of picks like first. He's got like six. Well, yeah, those are futures, but you get the idea. He has
Yeah.
the picks waiting to go, and his team's already, second place overall, or last year second place.
Right.
So,
I think he took my model. Everybody's idle when they don't want to tell me.
goodness. Oh man. All right. Well, that's gonna do it for this episode. Um, Shiny, you got any last remarks?
I'm ready for the season. Hopefully, it's gonna be good. Everybody's excited already.
When does free agency start? I thought I saw that coming
I
soon.
thought it was the 15th, but I could be wrong on that.
The free agency start date it's March 17th, so 8 days. Not gonna lie, probably our next episode we'll probably take like a week off and then we'll probably do one once free agency starts because that's gonna change a crap ton with all these teams and how we rate players and see who benefits the most. So
That's
um,
exciting.
we'll get y'all next time.